Hey everyone, it's actually Jeb Bush, and today's video we're going to be talking about NBA SoRare. Now, if you're unfamiliar with NBA SoRare, I'm going to link a video from my fellow content creator TST explaining the ins and outs of SoRare so you can get the basics, and you can find that right up here. There's also a link in the description that you can use to sign up for NBA SoRare, and it will give you 20 free common cards for the free contests. And if you enjoy SoRare and you decide you want to purchase some limited cards to participate in the limited contests, after you buy 5 limited or higher rank cards from the live auction marketplace, you will get a sixth one for free, but only if you use the link in the description. So make sure to check that out. And also, before we get started, if you could remember to leave a like on this video and hit that subscribe button, it really helps me out a lot and allows me to continue to put out content such as this. So a lot of the SoRare content I consume revolves around lineup building. You have Mike Zakarian from Team Hold, who does live shows before things are locked and they discuss building optimal lineups. You have John Boy Beats with Momentum Labs, who builds spreadsheets for optimal lineups. And TST also puts out a lot of content week to week on how to find deals and build lineups with those. However, I've been seeing a lot of discussion around more long-term plays on NBA SoRare, such as players who are coming off of injury or players who suddenly assume a much bigger role because of injury. And I just think there's a lot of value there. And coincidentally enough, we've seen quite a few injuries happen the last couple of days in the NBA, and there's been some serious reactions in the market to that. For example, John Morant sprained his ankle pretty bad yesterday, and as a result, we saw Tyus Jones, who will probably start to skyrocket as these offers go up and people were purchasing at 20, 30, $40 because he's going to suddenly have a lot more minutes and he has a very low cap, at least right now. So he's an extremely high value play. And another more recent example is someone like Orlando Robinson, who just had his first game at center for the Miami Heat because of injury. But we were seeing him go for like 10, 15, $20. And suddenly people were trying to buy him for 30, 40, 50 bucks. And that's because he was an extremely high value card with a cap of 0. So basically, you did not have to spend any budget on a lineup for him, and all the points he got were just gravy on top. So, and Orlando Robinson is a little more of a special case because they just started releasing cards for him because he just started playing. So I'm just using him as an example, but Tyus Jones is obviously the better one because as we can see, he was drifting below $10 for quite a while. And now because of the injury, we've seen him go up and we'll see him become a much more valuable card. And I just think there are a lot of opportunities for players like Tyus Jones where you can buy them now and then be in a position where you can sell them for a profit or play them in your lineups and have a big advantage. So in this video, we're going to go team by team and we're going to take a look at some players that might be a bit undervalued. Now, before we take a look at these players, it's important to remember that we are looking at things in a long-term view. So a player that we talk about today might be worth less than they are right now a week from now because, they're getting 0 minutes or someone's coming back or whatever the case. So this video is obviously not financial advice, but on top of that, it's not telling you to go out and consider buying all these players immediately, but these might be players that are worth watching. And, if you see them dip and you think it's a price that is just too cheap considering the situation they're in, might be worth purchasing and either holding to play in a lineup later or selling when they pump because of an injury or because of a upgrade in their role on the team. So we're going to go team by team in the NBA, and I'm going to go ahead and point out a couple players on every team that I think have long-term value and might be a little undervalued right now. So without further ado, welcome to SoRare Steals. Let's start with the Atlanta Hawks. So as you can see, I'm on SoRare data and I've pulled up the Atlanta Hawks, and someone that sticks out to me immediately is Bogdan. Now, Bogdan is currently injured, which is one of the reasons he's on my list here. When healthy, he has the capability of putting in a pretty high ceiling game, especially for the cap it's going to cost you. And if we look at his chart here, you can see that there's not a lot of action going on. Early on, people were paying like $10 to $15. And as we can see, a lot of purchases have been for like some of these are under $10, which is just a crazy steal for Bogdan long term. Long term, once again, he's projected to come back maybe beginning of December. He's dealing with a knee injury right now. So once again, buying this card is not an instant flip or an instant play or anything like that, but he's an NBA starter that you can buy for $10 who might be back in a month. There are not a lot of NBA starters who have the capabilities that Bogdan has in terms of fantasy ceiling that you can get for even close to that price. So I think Bogdan is a really, really solid deal. And while I don't own a Bogdan right now, I plan on putting in an offer or two and trying to scoop one in the near future. Now, the next Hawk I have on my list is Okongwu. Now, Okongwu is the backup center for the Atlanta Hawks. He's rather young. He's 21, as we can see. And right now, he's averaging around 19 minutes per game. So he's a reserve for all intensive purposes currently. However, the Atlanta Hawks are looking to trade John Collins. They are also potentially looking to trade Clint Capella as well. Now, I don't know if Clint Capella will also get traded. He's been playing extremely well, and the Atlanta Hawks seem to be very content with him. However, even if just John Collins gets traded, Okongwu should get a bump up. He's an explosive player who has such a high ceiling, both short term and long term. And I think him getting more minutes would cause him to be a much more valuable card to have on SoRare. So we can look at the chart here and we can see that at the beginning he was going for around $20. I'm in here somewhere. I bought him at around 21, 22. But we can see now that people are getting him for like just dirt cheap, $2, $5. Here's one at 7. So he's gone back up a little to be at like 15ish. But once again, this is a situation where this is an Atlanta Hawk who has the potential to be a starting player if a trade happens or if Clint Capella gets injured or something like that, and he can put up a high ceiling fantasy score. He gets a lot of blocks. Blocks are 3 points on NBA SoRare. And he's someone that just has a lot of tools on the court and can put up points in multiple ways. I'm very high on Okongwu. I am a huge fan of his. I think he is currently very undervalued, and I probably will buy another one. I did not realize he got all the way down to like $3. That is a steal. I cannot believe people are getting him for $2-3. I wish I was paying closer attention because I will probably try and get one at like 10, 15, which I still think is a great deal. But $2, like a floor card for Okongwu, I think that is insane. So he is my second person on the Atlanta Hawks that I think has a lot of long-term value here. All right, so we've talked about Bogdan, we've talked about Okongwu, and finally, we're actually going to talk about two people at once here, the Holiday brothers, Aaron Holiday and Justin Holiday. Now, Aaron Holiday and Justin Holiday are both guards, and they both kind of play the same role, more or less. Aaron Holiday on the depth chart is the backup for Trae Young, and Justin Holiday is technically the third string backup for DeJounte Murray, but he's right now the backup because Bogdan is out. Now, as always, it's important to remember the big picture here with these long-term plays. And as a result, I would say Aaron Holiday is definitely more valuable than Justin Holiday. However, I think because they both play similar roles, it's a good idea to talk about them together here. So they're both backup guards, and Justin Holiday you can get for around under $3, $3 right now. And then Aaron Holiday you can get for around $3 to $4. So Aaron Holiday is just a tiny bit more expensive, but he's also probably going to have a bigger role over the duration of the season than his brother Justin. I currently do not own an Aaron Holiday or a Justin Holiday. And unlike Bogdan and Okongwu, I don't feel like I need to make sure I have one of these. But it's an interesting play. It's a cheap gamble, it's $3, $4. And, Aaron Holiday could bump up to 10, 12 if he gets a starting role or if his minutes are increased. So I think they're both worth looking at. Once again, like I said at the beginning of the video, maybe not worth buying immediately, but just, checking in on them every now and then, seeing what their price is, seeing how their cap fluctuates, looking at their stats game to game and seeing what type of minutes they're getting, keeping up with the Atlanta Hawks injury report, all the things that you need to do in order to make well-informed purchases or well-informed lineups. So I think I'm going to end the video there. If you could go ahead and just make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think. Let me know if there are any steals that you think I missed on the Atlanta Hawks and tell me why. It helps a lot and allows me to continue to put out content like this. And tune in next time as we continue to go team by team in the NBA and find the best SoRare steals. Please clap.